Hello, and this is just a quick video going over a tutorial with videos in it, a lot of Inception, but we're going to get it done in case you just want someone to really walk you through it. I understand if you do. We'll start at the top here. Player creation. In this section, we're just going to go over how you make the player. First off, you should have an account. You see up here it says Schwein. I got the little piggy. That means you're in your account. You should have something similar with, of course, your name in that area. And then what you're going to do is, if you have not already, go to the main forum, and right here you can go and click that to get to this section. You can also click the did they get rid of the create I guess they did. Okay, the old video is outdated. You can click this create a player, this button to get here, and then you go here to create a player, or just create a player. You'll have to go through a quick screen to log into SBAO, but assuming you're logged into the main forum, you just click the button, you'll get here. And you click the create a player button, or you'll already be here, depending on which one. On this screen, you just put in whatever name you like. I'm going to go with George. I meant to spell George, but I typed wrong. I don't know why. And then you can pick whatever position you want here, and then whatever secondary position you want. But keep in mind that you will not be allowed to select certain heights based on your position. I'll go over that in just a second. Number, you can pick whatever you want. My favorite number happens to be 19. Now, every position can be 5 foot. That's the lowest height you can be. And it goes up to whatever the lowest one you have is. And what I mean by that is point guards can only go to 6'5". But if I change this to shooting guard, my new lowest position is now shooting guard. And I can go to 6'7". If I go to small forward, I can go to 6'9". If I go to power forward, though, I'll stay at 6'9". Why? Because I have small forward as my secondary. It is my lowest position. And this goes on for all positions. I do recommend that no matter what positions you pick the highest height. There's no real reason not to. It makes you the most efficient your player can be, and there's no real negative. If you want to be a short king, go for it. I'm just saying, if you don't care, you might as well pick the highest you can. Some interesting information on the side here real quick. For example, right now there's a shortage of point guards. So if you want an easy starting job, this is probably the position you want to pick. Of course, you should always pick which one you actually want to play. It's not worth min-maxing this if you have something you want to do. But if you don't care, point guards are a need, easiest position. And this will change as, the seasons go on. So check this. It will probably not be the exact same as I see now, although point guard does seem to be eternally deprived of users. Weight, it doesn't matter. You can pick whatever you want. As far as I'm aware, this has no effect in game. So just pick one you're happy with, right? What would you want your player to weigh? FIBA team, you can pick whatever you want, but it doesn't matter. And I would recommend just picking none, because you can select later on after some people pitch you. You can see what the teams actually do. It's a fun event. You don't need to pick one out. If you already know what one you want to be on, go ahead and pick it. Use straight filler, ignore that, leave it like this. It doesn't matter. When you're done with that, you click submit. And we'll go on to the next stage. What is next? Yes, the draft. Okay, after you make a player, it depends on when you make it. Here are all the weeks. If you made it in playoff week and sim week 4, you're entered into the draft. Otherwise, you are in the waiver wire. If you're in the draft, it's a draft. People pick based on their selection. And then in the waiver wire, it's a bidding system. You won't see it. That's behind closed doors. But you should know it takes a little bit, at least a day usually, to fully get the bidding done to figure out where a person goes. But in the draft, that is an event that will happen. So when it starts, you'll start seeing people get drafted. You will hopefully get drafted, and you'll be on that team. I realized I spelled sim wrong. I'm going to change that after this video is done. But this is sim, not sign. All right, next section. The build guide. This is a very useful tab here. It's available in the player creation screen with this button, and you can find it, of course, in that guide. And here it has what the attributes do, how they correlate, ideas for each position. It's very useful to at least give you a good idea of how these things work. I would highly recommend reading this if you care too much. And as I said in the written version of this, you can always ask people specifically, like, hey, I want to be a 3-point shooter. I want to be a defensive big man. I want to be this, that. You say what it is in the Discord, which, if you don't know how to get to, is right here. You can then get that information. Someone will help you out, and you can work on it. and get exactly what you want. Because these are general, like they have a defensive big man build, right? But it's general. If you want a specific thing, you're going to have to work to get that and find out how that works. But this will give you a good idea of how to start. And as you always can in the SBL, you can reroll. So if you're like, you know what, I actually changed my mind. I don't like this big man I made. I want to play point guard. You can just reroll, ask for it. You get that change. You can't do that in SBA, and you can't keep doing that, but you have that option. So don't feel like you're locked in if you end up like, I want something else. Okay. Weekly earning. This is important. Every week you get 12 capped TP. Then you have uncapped. As the name suggests, there's no capped. You can earn as much of that each week as you are allowed to. For your 12, I recommend you do trivia and activity check. If we take a look here, that is available on this right side. Trivia, activity check. You cannot do activity check until you claim something else. I don't know why it's like that, but just claim other stuff first, and this will eventually show up as an option. And then after that, that's 6 of your 12 weekly. You will have to then earn the other 6 through something else, and that is generally done through one of these options. A graphic, you make like a picture of your player. That's worth 6 TPE, you're done. Article, you write a couple hundred words. The exact requirements are in the section here. Weekly PTs, articles, article guidelines. Right here. You can earn 6 for 450 words. You can really mumble. No one cares too much. Just, make it about the SBA and you'll be fine. You can also do 3 TPE of this, 3 TPE of a different thing to get the 6, but if you want to do it all in one, it's 450. Job pay. If you are a coach, a GM, a simmer, a presenter, you will get TPE for that. Some of those are 12, or you don't have to do anything. You get the full thing. Some of those are 3. Some of those are 6. You can do multiple jobs to get it. That's a more interesting, if you're really invested in the league, you can do that. But otherwise, article and graphic are the easiest. Podcast is just a video like this. You can post that. That will do it all very well. And then once you're doing that, you can spend your TP by going to here. If you click this, there's the change. That's the cost. Make sure this is lower than that. But keep in mind, as you go higher, the cost will eventually start to be higher than the change. You see that? So keep that in mind. And right now, this would not work because this is higher than this. But when you do have something you're happy with, you click the save button. When you do that, it is submitted, and someone has to manually go over it to make sure it actually is appropriate and works. We don't want people just putting in a million TPE, right? But that will happen each week, so those changes will not be immediate. All right, and then, oh yeah, important thing. If you go and write an article that's like 10,000 words, don't do that. Don't do that. You have a life, right? Don't do that. But if you did make more than like 450, you made like a 900-page article, you could claim that 2 times. So you wouldn't have to write one for 2 weeks. You could write one and claim it twice. That's just something to keep in mind if you like writing big articles. When you get to 150 TPE, you will get bumped up to 199 in the off season. So if you get to 150, you're good. Take it easy on your first season. You don't need to worry too much. Like I said, you can re-roll. You only have to get to 150, and because of what we're going to talk about in just a second, that's really easy to do. So, when that happens, you're good. When you get to 199, you cannot go further without uncapping. Uncapping puts you into the next draft. You will not be drafted right away. Don't worry, but you will go into the next season's draft. And when you uncap, you have to pick a certain amount of attributes that will have limitations on it. So when you do that, you'll pick like 3-pointers, can't go above 70. Your player's not going to be perfect at everything. Just pick the ones you're happy with. The build guide has some suggestions on that if you really want them. And then the SBA draft. It's the same as the SBDL, except in the SBA we allow trades. So a team might have 5 picks versus in the SBDL they always have 1, and there is a lottery system, so it's not always the worst team with the top pick. When you get there, you'll get a contract. That'll be for 2 seasons. You can extend after 1. If you go to free agency, you can negotiate with other teams. Max and Supermax exist. They have their own rules, but I'm not going to go over them. But you get more money. You get the dollar bills. First gen bonus after you reach the SBA, if it's your first player. This doesn't count for your next player, but your first player, you just get free TPE. Just make sure to claim that. Every time Other players, you get a legacy bonus. So after your first player, you get a bonus based on how much your other player earns. So you'll always get some sort of bonus at the beginning of your SBA career. But for this one, you have to claim it. First gen bonus, you go here, submit manual task. First gen bonus, it'll automatically fill it. Just link to your player page. You'll be fine. Real quick too, I don't think I went over it. If you write an article, same thing. You just set it to whatever TPE you earned, and then you copy paste the URL to your article right here. Save. You'll be good. Okay. Fillers. If you make a filler, it's just a second player that has certain restrictions on it. It's just for fun and filling out the league. Don't take it too seriously, but you do get technically 1 uncapped TPE per season. So technically to max earn you need it, but it's 1. You can ignore it if you don't feel like it. And that is everything. I went through that a little quick. You can read it, and I have a couple more in-depth video guides available here as well that you can do. So make sure you get on it. If you need any help too, the Discord, which once again is available right here on the main page, if my computer could load. You can go there, talk to people, ask specific questions, and if there's something you feel should be in this guide that isn't, make sure to leave it in a comment below so other people can see it. There is no monetary thing. This is not like YouTube where I'm asking you to comment. I don't gain anything. Please only comment if there's actually something that's new that wasn't there when I made this video that you think new players should need to know. Bye.